Alex, well done. How pleased were you to get through in straight sets on such a hot day?
Yeah, I mean, happy to get my campaign started. You know, never easy starting first match of a tournament, but to get the win in straight sets, I thought I played a very consistent match. I did what I needed to do, and yeah, happy to be in the next round.
What were you most pleased with, apart from the consistency?
Yeah, I think just, you know, the mindset, the serving I thought was quite good. Something that definitely helped me out. I knew, you know, he was playing with a lot of confidence coming through qualifying and winning some great matches. So I was ready for a battle, and it was quite a quick turnaround from Hamburg, which was kind of cold and rainy, to coming here where it's very hot and lively. So I'm very happy with the way I adapted. I did what I needed to do, and on to the next one.
Alex, there was some big news overnight about Australian tennis with a new boss who is apparently, you know better than I, has been revolutionised rugby league in Australia. What do you think about him coming on board with Tennis Australia?
Yeah, look, as you said, it's new news, right? It's something that's come overnight. I don't know him personally. I'm sure I would love to, you know, get to know him and kind of learn a little bit more about what he's keen to do, or what his vision is for Tennis Australia. Of course, we had Craig for a long time, who I thought did an incredible job, and yeah, I think, you know, Tennis Australia is a really strong federation, and you know, we've got capabilities to do a lot, and I think in the whole performance space, we've done a pretty good job over the last couple of years about, you know, showing strength in numbers, especially in the men's side in the top 100. And yeah, I think there's definitely places we can grow, and I'm excited to see what's what the vision is going to be.
Hi, Alex. How does these conditions, or how do these conditions change the way you see your game on the surface? I'm guessing it's pretty helpful for you.
Yeah, look, it's quite funny because last week Hamburg was slow, heavy, rainy. The ball was not moving anywhere, and that's exactly the week that got me out of the slump, right? In theory, my toughest conditions, and so last week gave me a heap of confidence. I felt like I got my mojo back. It was a critical week for me. Obviously, going now into these conditions, it is a little bit to adapt because I haven't had as much time as I would like, but I've always preferred hot and lively conditions, especially on a clay court, because I feel like I can bring a little bit more of, you know, my all-court tennis on this type of surface. It's easier to be a little bit more aggressive, to, you know, the ball's jumping. I don't necessarily have to use as much, you know, spin or heaviness, and I can let the conditions do the job for me. So, yeah, and also it's quite physical, right? So I don't mind the heat.
Alex, I'm curious how you found it to face Toby. I don't think he'd ever even played someone in the top 100 before, and I'm sure you can remember your first slam appearance. So how did it feel on the court against him? Yeah,
look, I think he, you know, wanted to give him credit for obviously qualifying here at the French Open, which is one of the toughest tasks, I would say, on tour. And he obviously played some incredible tennis, and yeah, it was a battle. It was a physical battle. The first two sets was just a break here and there. He got up to an early break in the second set, and I really had to dig deep. And look, I'm sure there's going to be many more opportunities for him, but he's got lots of weapons, and I think he can be a dangerous player.
Hi, Alex. I'm trying to understand more about the movement of sliding. Do you remember as a child, like, learning the mechanics of it? And obviously it may now be natural to you, but can you kind of break that down for us?
Yeah, I think on a clay court, you probably, you learn the mechanics a little bit more. And as a kid, I generally, when I grew up, I had big feet, right? And I was quite uncoordinated. So I did a lot of hours on footwork technique and you know, whether it was movement or kind of sliding technique, and just doing my best to make sure that I was balanced. So I did a lot of hours on that, and you know, thankfully, as I got a little bit older, I grew into my body and it all kind of clicked together. And I think it's probably the reason why I'm able to move the way that I do now. Sliding on a clay court and a hard court is quite different. I feel like on a hard court, you just gotta trust yourself, and ultimately, just if you go with enough speed, I'm sure you'll put in a proper slide.
Two more.
Next round, you've got a guy who's you had quite a tussle with last time. He's one of the rising stars, really. Can you run us through your thoughts on what you're going to face?
Yeah, Alexander Blockx. He's, as you said, one of the young talents. He's been playing some really good tennis. We had a battle in Monaco where before that he beat some quality players, and he backed it up week after week. In Madrid and in Rome, had some really good tournaments, playing some good tennis. So he's a big kid, big serve, big forehand, dangerous player. And yeah, it's going to be a battle, right? In this heat, my goal is going to be to make it physical, extend rallies. I think we both learned a lot from the first match, and we'll see who gets on top. But as I said, I feel good. I feel happy with the way I'm playing, and I'm excited for the challenge.
Last one.
Alex, what is your mindset when you go into majors these days? Are you targeting something in particular, confidence levels, etc.? And how has it differed from the early days when you're still new and you're still, haven't had the full experience of playing majors?
Yeah, I think it's kind of natural. I've been, in a way, fortunate that now I guess my goals and expectations kind of are different to what they were when I first started. At the start of my career, it was all about, trying to win a match, and you'd be over the moon for getting through your first round, and that would be almost like you get to the next round and a little bit of a letdown. And I feel like over the years I've understood that my goal as a tennis player and in these types of events is to do my best to keep my head down and get through matches, right? Doesn't need to be pretty, doesn't need to be the most amazing matches. As long as I can keep getting through these types of matches and rounds, they all accumulate and they all add incredible kind of confidence, and I feel like I'm a player that plays better as the tournament goes on. So I become, at the same time, more dangerous as the tournament kind of goes along. So for me, that's the goal. Nothing about looking ahead. I'm focused on day by day and the match in front of me, and just finding a way to get through.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.